Call the meeting to order. We could have roll, please. Nick?
Kelso. Bartholomew.
All right, either one of them.
Butterfield. Here. Jones.
Here.
Hanbeck.
Here.
Spar. Morton.
Here. All right, if everybody's had a chance to look at last month's minutes, if we have no amendments, I hear a motion for approval.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve.
I'll second that.
Hanbeck.
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Spar.
Yes.
Warren.
Yes.
Kelso. Butterfield.
Yes.
Bartholomew.
Before we start, council's going to read a short little presentation about the zoning board.
Thank you. Public hearing is being held tonight pursuant to published notice. Any person wishing to address the zoning board will be sworn in by our court reporter and will give their testimony under oath or affirmation. At the conclusion of the public hearing, the zoning board of appeals will make its determination. 4 yes votes are required to obtain approval. The purpose of the public hearing is for the zoning board to hear testimony regarding whether the proposed variance meets the required legal standards for a variance to be issued. It is not intended generally to afford an opportunity for comment on whether a project is or is not a good idea. Relevant factors for the zoning board to consider include whether the denial of a variance would cause a particular hardship to the owner because of conditions specific to the property involved, unique attributes to the property which are not generally applicable to other properties in a zoning district, whether the proposed variance is requested purely for economic gain, whether any particular difficulties have been caused by the applicant, whether granting the variance will be detrimental to public welfare or injurious to other property in the area, and whether the proposed variance will impair adequate light or air to adjacent property, cause traffic problems, impair property values, or endanger public safety. Testimony offered should be limited to the relevant factors I've explained. Rules of order govern the conduct of tonight's public hearing. No one should speak until recognized by the chair, and speakers should follow the directions of our chair.
All right, thank you. So our first case tonight is number 24-07. A variance has been requested for the property located at 121 West Crestwood Drive. The petitioner seeks a variance from section 1053 of the Village Morton Municipal Code in relation to the front setback of the primary structure. Who's ever going to speak tonight, you can just stand up, Lee will swear you in, and then you can go to the podium and get and
You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give you the truth, the whole truth.
why don't you step to the podium, just give your name and address.
Okay.
Then you can go from there.
Thank you. My name's Joe Kirkpatrick, and I live at 121 West Crestwood here in Morton. This is case 2407. As you said, my wife Alice is here with me. I want to thank you all for serving on the board and this opportunity to address it. Thank you for serving on zoning board. I served 16 years on the school board, so I know how an elected position is some days. You lose a lot of friends some days. So thank you for service. Zach Davis was very, very helpful and professional in guiding us through this process too, so thank you for such a nice young man there. My wife and Alice and I moved to Morton 3 years ago, and we also appreciate the value of a zoning ordinance too, so thank you for keeping it in line. We are asking for a variance to extend the roof edge 5 feet towards the street and cover a ramped sidewalk. That's really what we're looking for. The front door and the sidewalk are the best opportunity to provide a ramped access to allow us to hopefully remain in our home longer. We are not adding any living space to our home. We are using a local contractor. It was listed in your documents as Derrick Services, but that's now RAP Construction. So we're going to continue to use Andrew, RAP as the constructor. We're doing this to replace the cracked sidewalk and the hail damaged roof. This is a minor extension to the roof line. Now makes economic sense since we're going to be doing the roof anyway. We've provided the pictures and drawings of the current and proposed structure. We've spoken to most of our neighbors and found no resistance to this variance. We hope you'll approve this variance to allow us to make these minor modifications in our zone. What questions might you have for me?
The only thing I have to say is, after we've looked at it, the setback on that street is 30 feet, not 35. So those houses are all, I think you're all on the 30-foot mark. As far as that was a little indiscrepancy we found recently. So you're gonna have that all concrete under there?
Yes. Under whatever.
Under the roof area there?
Yeah.
Before I go any further, does anybody in the audience wish to comment in this case? The only thing I have to say is, I mean, I know it's nice, but once we do this, you know, all your houses are just lined up, so next door can ask for a port, you know, I mean, it becomes a, and we've had it happen, but, and I understand why you want to do it.
Are there modifications that would make it approvable?
What's that?
Is there any modification to the proposal that would make it approvable?
With it sitting on a setback right now, I mean, as far as my personal feeling, no, and I know it does look better with a, you know, with a little more roof on them. They made them kind of plain back then.
I mean, there's not an issue with them pouring a ramp, whatever, what they want, as long as they, with it being hard surface, can they
Yeah.
do that?
Nick,
Zach said the sidewalk
Yeah.
wasn't a problem at all.
Yeah.
Didn't even
Right, it's
permit
just,
it.
you're looking more for the
Yeah.
cover for the weather.
yeah, you do a 5-foot sidewalk.
Yeah, he said there was no question at all.
Yeah.
Right,
right.
right.
And that's my only thing with these cases. I see, you know, your point of view, and it's nice, but it's just those subdivisions are all, everybody's on the setbacks. All the houses are just lined up.
Is there somebody that is handicapped that you're
No.
putting in your home?
At this moment, no.
You want it for the future?
Want it for the future, yeah.
You both look really healthy now, so.
I've got a knee brace on, if that's where it is.
Well, okay.
I'll tell you just my thoughts. I would probably lean more to what Mike is saying, but I do think that it is a nice idea as far as planning ahead and doing a ramp style, because we're kind of going through that with a family member right now, and we do not have, I mean, it's steps, and it is difficult, you know? And weather, I mean, obviously can play, you know, if you're in and out on a regular basis, and I'm not saying, right, yeah, be able to get out, but I think, I just don't, I would have to probably agree with Mike on it as far as trying to keep everything lined up there, and I get trying to help with snow and rain, and sometimes you just have to get out in it, and I hate to say that, but, I mean, I'm sympathetic, but at the same time, if we do it for you, then we're gonna get other people that are gonna come in, and before you know it, it's like this, you know? I mean, I think it's great you guys are thinking ahead and planning, and, you know, obviously want to keep you as citizens of Morton as long as we possibly can, but I think just to be fair to the other people, we can't say yes to you and no to the next, you know, and it's kind of my position, unless anybody else has got something to convince me otherwise.
Are you asking for public input?
If you,
I couldn't hear you.
I said, is he asking for public input or from the other board members?
no,
Okay.
I'm saying if you've got something else that, I mean, it's, I get wanting to plan ahead, but I think in pouring the concrete and doing a ramp style, that is kind of planning ahead. But I don't know that how much, when it's snowing out, at least where I'm at, it seems like it's windy all the time, no matter what. I've got a little covered area on my porch, but even rain and snow, and it just kind of open and drifts, and I don't know how much it would help me, you know what I mean? So,
I'm not gonna make any stories up, so this is,
Okay.
this is, I put everything
Yeah,
truthfully here.
aesthetically,
Right.
it would look better.
yeah.
As far as zoning wise. And the house does look nice. You guys done a nice job. It looked really nice.
Thank you.
With no, does anybody else have any questions? Do I hear a motion? Does anybody else wish to speak to this case tonight? Okay. With that, then, do we hear a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we grant case number 24-07 and under the 10.5-3 of the Village Morton Municipal Code.
Second. Handback, second.
Second.
Yeah.
Spar,
No.
Warren,
No.
Handback,
No.
Jones,
No.
Butterfield.
No.
Motion fails.
I appreciate the effort you put in. Afraid it didn't work out, but I,
Wouldn't if we hadn't asked.
no, no. And I do feel your plight on that one, because just kind of, we're limited here on what we can do and can't do. So, I appreciate you guys coming up.
All right.
Appreciate everybody else that came up, see what's going on.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nick, do you have anything to offer?
No.
With that, Pat? Nothing? All right. That, do I hear a motion for adjournment?
Motion we adjourn?
Warren,
Yes.
Butterfield.
We didn't get a, did we get a second on the motion to adjourn?
I'll second the motion.
Got it. Thank you.
Warren,
Yes.
Butterfield,
Yes.
Handback,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Spar.
Yes.
All right, thank you.